you notice they don't have tea, they don't grow tea, and Rwanda has tea, really good tea. And when you went back home, you basically took a class, workshop, and learned about tea, and then found out about coffee, and then basically set up the company and started exporting those two products. Actually, you started with coffee, so very interesting story. And you started with one bag, so you didn't have to have thousands and thousands of dollars to start your company, right?
Yeah.
So did you
exactly
how did you
exactly
find people who need the coffee in Poland? So you set up the company, and there's this product in Rwanda, and now you have to find customers. So how can you tell us how you went about finding your customers, to start with?
so we're thank you so much. So what actually happened with this first small shipment, is that during this time when I actually opened up the company in Poland, I was still also working on the marketing part of it. So I had already visited many cafes, many roasting plants, small and medium-sized roasting plants that were dealing with the high-quality coffees, because it's not everyone that deals with the high-quality coffees.
Yeah.
Some companies just decide to work on the commercial, commodity kind of style, which is
Yeah.
not the best quality, but it's still coffee anyway. But so I was targeting the companies that actually would accept this kind of really high quality coffee.
Yeah.
So but by that time it didn't really make sense for me to join the commodity market, because the commodity market needs a lot of investments and big volumes of containers to be shipped. And yeah, so we were actually I made the analysis and targeted the places that were into the high quality coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually asked for samples to be sent to me by DHL from Rwanda in different portions, very small portions. Like I remember I had a package of, like, I don't know, 3 kgs, but it was very much separated in like 100 grams of coffee. So I went on distributing them to these people that were actually interested in roasting and maybe buying.
Yeah.
So I pushed as much samples as I could. Most of, like, 95% of the cafes like the coffee. They're like, oh, you have a really nice coffee, but they couldn't proceed in the buying stage. Like, hey, can we now buy some volume from your coffee and stuff like this? But they couldn't. I think they basically could see that I'm a kind of startup, and maybe student that probably doesn't have the capital to raise the whole container and bring it to Poland.
Yeah.
So they were very much quite hesitant of a black student that is trying to do business and all this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, they were like, it's not his home country. He's still young. He's studying. He probably doesn't have capital. So how can we really rely on any kind of business with this young person? So I was so lucky to have one cafe that kind of believed in me in a way, that they were like, hey, maybe if you bring just one bag of this,
Yeah.
we could pay you on arrival. We could pay
Yeah.
you after trying.
So when you say one bag, like how heavy is that? But like how many kilograms would you say that bag?
One bag is actually 60 kgs.
Oh, 60 kgs. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's so it had to be shipped by plane, of course, because you cannot put it in there is no any other way to actually ship this kind of small volume. So
Yeah.
I had to ship the coffee to Poland, and I was lucky during the trainings that I actually worked with some farm
Yeah.
in Rwanda. So I asked this farm to actually, prepare some nice quality coffee, and help me not to have any mistake with the quality, at least.
Yeah.
And I do remember this farm was like, hey, you know what? You've been working with us for the past months and stuff. We're gonna give you this bag on a loan basis. You won't have to pay anything. You pay once they appreciate the quality.
Nice.
So yeah, he was some kind of really big support, for me, and he actually worked well. It went to Poland, they roasted, they liked it, and they put it on their websites, and
Yeah,
surprisingly, all the other cafes that have already been taking my samples now
yeah,
were interested to actually start buying because they can see that one of their competitors is actually publishing the coffee that was bought from my company.
yeah.
We started like this. We started pushing,
Hmm.
and things went well from that
Okay,
from that moment. Yeah,
nice. Yeah,
yeah,
so you talk to these businesses, you face all those challenges that most people face when they're starting out. You don't have any track record, you're young, they don't know how to trust you, so
yeah.
you decide to import samples, and then they test the samples, they like the samples. So, and when they like the samples, did they want to uh like did they order, and like how did you go about basically going and finding that coffee, um and making partnerships with these farmers? Like, can you walk us through like that journey of going to
Yeah.
Rwanda, talking to farmers, and how did you sort out how you were going to work together?
Thank you very much, Pat. So regarding the farm that I started working with was the actual farm that I was working with when I was in my trainings. So remember these trainings that I had in Nayeb? I used
Yeah.
to go out to the farms. I used to go out to
Hmm.
the farms and actually, have this kind of practical production experience because the practical production experience you actually get it only at the farms, at the washing stations.
Yeah.
So this farm that I frequently visited was called Muhondo or Coffee Station.
Hmm.
This is where I actually had my first trainings, and actually this is where I actually spent most of my time with regards to the farms. So when I got the order, I came back to them and like, hey, someone likes your samples. Uh, They are requesting for one bag, which was funny for them because they only export in containers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but I guess they like the courage. They like the courage in the sense that I was there in the trainings in summer, and now I'm coming back with
Yeah.
not a big order, but some order. At least someone liked their coffee, and it was a new market for them. The coffee was the first time they had this coffee in Poland. So they were like, hey, we'll give you this coffee. We're gonna try to make the best quality for you. We give you this coffee, and you can pay once they like the coffee. It was